ladies and gentlemen. For the other one. Charlie, I don't know the account. Now, ladies, people they talk says nothing need the cap inside. What is this? Something there. Random. Alright. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we wake up this morning, whatever we go do for town, whatever we won't go out there go do, before be successful in it. Even if it be short run or it be long run, you have to be successful. And on the road or on the path to success, a lot of potholes and impediments there. But this is where Cowbell Coffee they step inside. Or be freely potholes now, man. Okay, bro. Cowbell Coffee say make I tell you, see, bro. Any step beer you go take them day with you. Them day in front of you, them day at the back of you. I'm do it. It's a number plate. And so, bro, what's sorry no pen what be now the good cab no machine so share go so no one now I revitalize you, I energize you. Now Cowbell Coffee. They say make I tell you, say them day with you, them day for you, them day through you, them day behind you, them day in front of you. Cowbell Coffee say make I tell you, say them day. Bobby Chebi. You know the can. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sheldon once again. The head is big for a reason. And I'm here to comment on the vice president's encounter with the media yesterday. I was on the grounds. I saw what happened. I've been trending because of a video. I still see the other side of the divide and they tried to do agenda and things. But I went out there and I delivered my questions to the vice president and I was giving answers. As to whether I am impressed or I was impressed in the day, we will discuss it in the course of this editorial delivery of Kabbalization of things. So, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, met the press, the media yesterday at Movenpick Hotel. This was to, create a fertile grounds for the media men and women to throw questions at him. And media people, they always have questions to ask, candidate, and this is like healthy for in a democratic dispensation. So media men and women were invited, and the opportunities were given to them to ask questions, pressing questions we did them a mind for the people, even if it's about them or for a group of people, them for ask, and that is what happened.
Africa has also fact-checked and confirmed that 8 people in the 2020 general elections. We haven't heard the president make a statement on it, of justice or anything for that matter. I'm not sure I've heard you make any statements on it as well. And I've spoken to a lot of analysts who say that if you had addressed this very early on in your campaign, maybe you'd have had a greater chance than you might have now. If you become, and that's a question I've had, I just want to find out from you what you make of this, and if you will address matter. And finally, would you agree with Ghanaians say that you should apologize for where we are at the moment, especially looking at promises that were made and the performance not matching to those promises? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So let's go through it. I think it's a question that 8 people died in the 2020 election, and the president, or me, we have not commented on it. I'm not quite sure whether the president has commented or not. But any time we lose a life in any circumstance, it doesn't have to be an election. I think it's really a very sad event when you talk about loss of life for anybody, and so I think that it's very, very a sad occurrence if for people who died during the election, maybe out of conflict or something. So it is something that I hope the authorities, law enforcement authorities, have dealt with or are dealing with. I'm not quite familiar with the full current status of that particular situation, but the people who are responsible should be brought to book.
You will remember this quote: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rates will expose you. And as at the time you were making this statement, a dollar to CD was 3 cedis and above, or about 3 cedis, 4 cedis, right? Thank you. 2024, a dollar to a cedi is 15 Ghana cedis, about 15 Ghana cedis. Okay, over 15 Ghana cedis. Thank you. How do I explain this to my mother, a cocoa seller, that in 2014 the fundamentals were weak? In 2024, where a dollar is now 15 cedis, the fundamentals are not weak, but the prices of goods and services are high today. Thank you.
Other question, which is the nice one Vanessa was asking, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, which is a truism. It was true then, and it's still true today. It's an economic truism that once the fundamentals weaken, you will see the impact on the exchange rate fundamentally. And when we talk about many of these fundamentals, you're talking about the GDP growth rate, you're talking about the fiscal balance, you're talking about the exchange, the reserves, level of the reserves that you have, inflation, and so on. When we came into office, during the first term before we hit COVID, between 2017 and 2019, you saw the fundamentals pretty much strengthening by all accounts. And the exchange rate depreciated in those 3 years by less than 5%. That was the lowest depreciation in the currency for 28 years. 28 years. That was the lowest depreciation of the currency. I think we went up, even after COVID, we didn't get that high a depreciation. But the biggest shock for the economy came in 2022. All hell was breaking loose in 2022. Inflation, 54% as at November 2022. Exchange rate had depreciated 54%.
So first of all, shout out to the organizers and the people behind. They started on time. I'll go late. I'll go reach like 5:10. By the time I go get there, then start like 5 p.m. Then start. So big shout outs to them. So the vice president mounted the stage, gave the opening address. Then the floor was open for journalists for just raised, or media people for just raised their hands. They asked the vice president and the presidential candidate questions, and that's what happened. Now, a lot of questions were thrown at the presidential candidate of the MPP. Some people, they feel like he answered it to their satisfaction. Some people, they feel like he digressed. Some people too, they feel like some of the questions where them throw at your man, he ignore them. So everybody, when you go on social media platform right now, everybody, like, that is what people are discussing. How he answered the questions, how he went about it, the facts that were put out there, and everything. And to some, it was a fruitful encounter. To others, bro, this thing, they beat them. And that is the beauty of democracy. Kabi mamin kabi, and ya kabi na me mo asum. Okay. So, based on what happened on the ground yesterday, are you convinced? Are you convinced, or were you convinced about some of the answers that he gave to the questions that were asked? It is your prerogative to decide in the comment section. A lot of people have come to me, like, I asked the vice president 3 questions. And people have come to my comment section, my DM, to ask me, say, was I impressed with the replies? Some are, nah, bro, I'm not taking this thing. So we go talk about that. But overall, this is what happened yesterday. The vice president answered questions. He stood on that stage for about 4 hours answering questions. At some point, he was tired. Bro, I still say that the job hard. And you know what be funny here? Today they say they wrote up the good week. Where I say nobody sent him. We don't want to someone where you say you want your president. You have to convince the people. But a lot of, like some of the journalists, they ask like pressing, like they ask questions about pressing issues where then they feel like, bro, Mr. Vice President no answer, or he read, portions of his manifesto to reply that. And when you go on social media right now, they are dragging. There is a part where someone asked him all that Dr. Bawumia the promise he could do when he's voted into power, or if he's voted into power, and why he no go do him now. Where your man talks, say, if you do him as a vice president and he becomes the president, what he could do?
Other issue was that we wanted to do these tax reforms, import duty, flat tax, tax amnesty, and so on. But why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto. Otherwise, if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office?
And I think they talk that thing as a joke and things, but bro, as it comes social media, they drag them like what? Mouse wire, or then they drag them like what? Generator code. A miracle, I just said for Gam Talk, say, as the vice president said that, and he added emojis. He laughed at the end of the reply. So the media platforms, putting this now then for add laughing emoji. And I was like, no, explanation no day inside. Whatever was said in the auditorium is what people are reporting on. The laughing emoji no go change anything. You understand? So that's what happened in the auditorium. Now, I was given the opportunity to ask the vice president questions. My first question was about the fact that 322 pharmaceutical doctors, where they do them housing work, they have worked for a year and their allowances have not been paid, salaries have not been paid. Now, for someone that has highlighted in his manifesto that he is going to improve conditions or condition of services when it comes to the health workers, and recently the Ghana Medical Association boss came out to say that people are leaving the country, specialists in the health sector, they are leaving the country to other countries because, bro, they are not being paid well, they are not being compensated well in this country when it comes to what, like them servicing people. So what he go fit do about town right now that he is what? The vice president. And I wasn't impressed with what? The answer where he carry give me.
Let me move on. Before I proceed to ask my questions, I would like to emphatically state that these questions were not given to me by anyone. From my head to I'm going to ask. Now, Mr. Vice President, my name is Sheldon. I represent Sheldon Studios. The first one is our 322 pharmaceutical doctors on social media right now are planning on suing the health industry about unpaid allowances. Now, for someone that has highlighted in your manifesto that when voted into power, you are going to improve or help improve the condition of services when it comes to conditions of service when it comes to our health people. For right now that you are the vice president, what can you do to help these pharmaceutical, doctors who are, contemplating on suing the Ministry of, Health? My second question borders. The question is one question. So my question, the second question is about perception. Perception is very, very important. I'll come up to you. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Nanaya Kesi. I work with TCF.
Yes, the pharmacists are my very good friends. We are talking about 322 pharmaceutical doctors who are threatening to sue the Ministry of Health for their allowances. Again, I want to take this one up, and this is the first time I'm hearing about this particular issue. I think it is Sheldon who raised it. I'm not aware of it, but I think it's an important issue that we should really resolve. So we'll talk to the Ministry of Health and Finance. Thank you very much.
First of all, he said he be aware of the situation. As the vice president of a country, are you telling me that they brief you on some of these things? How can you not be aware of things like this? So then how then we go give you the whole country to run? You understand? You have to understand some of this. And I've seen people on social media making it look like what I asked when it comes to the FAMD people know they make sense. 322 FAMD pharmaceutical doctors. And I've seen people turn out, and this thing they concern you. Why if you go ask questions like that? If you ask questions about the things, I say when you go to hospital, when you are sick, download penicillin with your data and treat yourself. Use your data to download paracetamol and treat yourself. You think they don't matter? They have worked for a year, their salaries and allowances have not been paid, and you don't think they deserve to be heard? And yesterday in my comment section, a lot of the pharmaceutical doctors, they say right now, I be my friend. And you know what Bawumia said for in reply where it shocked me? He said the pharmacists, or the pharmaceutical doctors, them being friends. How I be your friend? You know, say I've not been paid for more than a year. If I be your friend, you for know about what they happen in my life, right? So you can't admit, say you then be friends, then tell me, say you are unaware that they have not been paid. For that particular answer, you can't give me any idea. You know, go down well with me. They say you go contact or you go talk to the Ministry of Finance and see what they can do. After that, I was called outside by a government spokesperson. They showed me a chat about where conversation has reached when it comes to them sorting them out. So I think as soon as possible, I then go sort them out. But this is prevalent in government or in governance. Like people are not being paid left, right, center. And this, bro, a lot of spaces there, scholarship people with them there, the US, UK there, or chale money lock. Imagine say the government scholarship top, you go out there, they are not, bro, why? My next question was about Gamro and the fact that they have been ineffective when it comes to the collection of revenues, or sorry, the collection of royalties on behalf of our artists. And recently we have seen articles, we have seen videos of our artists complaining about the fact that they create so much, like they put out like decent, beautiful body of work. People play them, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the collection of what royalties, they get paltry sums of money like 300 cedis, 400 cedis, 500. It's sad, bro. Because I know where you're going to tell me that Lumba that has produced about 32 albums, his royalty money for be like 10,000. On like, see where Daddy Lumba day in our music industry and the kind of work he can do, if I never even produce or do a song again, if I just sit. But we don't see that here because Gamro has not been enabled. Someone like Ojo Amansan. Otie nyina ope royalties, but no one can say the Gamro ka. The old Gamro. But how the vice president go feel enabled? Or you go feel enable Gamro to the point that they would collect what? Revenues effectively. So that we go give one artists, the musicians, so that when they retire or when they stop doing music, we will come sit here and do GoFundMe for some of them. This was the vice president's or the presidential candidate for the MPP in reply.
Musicians in this country. Now, I have seen what you have highlighted in your manifesto when it comes to people in the creative arts. Now, recently, people that I've seen come into the media space to complain about royalties they receive from government. These artists, they come out, they complain about receiving 300 cities, 200 cities, 500 cities. Someone has created about 2 hours in the collection of royalties on his behalf. He's paying 300 cities, 200 cities, and 400 cities. You see them come in the news to complain about these things, and it looks like Kwadwo has not been able to collect royalties when it comes to our artists. And in certain jurisdictions, artists can release one song and eat off it for the rest of their lives. We don't see that here. And let me know what you're going to do to help enable government to be able to collect royalties effectively so that our artists wouldn't retire and as of social media will be GoFundMe and all these things for them. So that is
some of these things that we've been doing. There's been quite a bit that has been done, and we need to do quite a bit more. I think that one of the areas that I was having a discussion yesterday, I think, which has just also been mentioned here, essentially to do with collection of royalties and how it was brought to my attention yesterday by someone just in a discussion. And I think that is something that we have to, because it looks like the nature, from what I hear, some of our artists have designated people either in the United States or somewhere to do the collection of the royalties and so on. We need to have a better approach and help Gamro in this area. I think that we're going to use tax incentives, including the flat tax, to incentivize private sector investments in tourism and the creative arts.
Hey, Bawizi. Your man just read a portion of his manifesto to me, but let's see what is going to happen. So the musicians, when they enable the royalty system in this country and Gamro start giving people, hefty sums of money, please remember me. I fought for you people when I had the chance, when I had the opportunity. So that is what the vice president said about, the Gamro people and royalty collections. The last question, that one to the one hijacked me back. I say, well, lie, what happened? The last question was about data in this country. Now, my question was, as a vice president, your campaign practically or basically they sit on the fact that you have digitalized the system. And digitalization, they thrive on the internet. You can't have a digitalized economy without internet. So as a vice president, seeing the prices or the cost of data the high cost or high price of data in this country, and him championing the agenda of digitalization, the thing say it will be imperative and important for them to, talk to the NCO, whoever is in charge, for them to reduce the prices of data so that internet accessibility go there for everyone, so that the infrastructure they develop in the digital space, everybody go feel access them. This was his reply.
Data issues in this country. I'm sure you have seen what tech guys. We are not adding our voice when it comes to how expensive data is in this country. Now, I'm a YouTuber. I create videos online. People always in the comment section complain about the fact that even the exorbitant amount I'm paying for it, they are not getting value from their money. We have highlighted this on several platforms. we have been interviewed, we have met with the SCA, we have met with key people in positions of power, and nothing is being done about it. Your government, you are not saying anything about it. For someone who is championing a digitalization agenda, don't you think we need internet to champion some of these things that you are handling to us?
We are trying to build a digital economy. So I've made the point in the manifesto, we've made the point in the manifesto that we need to bring down the cost of data. Thankfully, I think that Starlink is coming in at the end of this month, and I'm hoping that some competitiveness will come. But I've also said that in our allocation of spectrum in the future, we need to focus more on inclusion and bringing down the cost of data. So it is something that we are really going to pay attention to in the context of building this digital economy. And this is also why the cost of devices, we're trying to look at bring down the cost of devices like the mobile phones as we build this digital state that we are looking at, because we want to take off the import duties on the So that is basically some of what we are trying to do. I think.
Now I have a problem with that. What Starlink won't do for this thing inside. So I put it on Twitter. I was asking people what Starlink will do when it comes to these things. And someone commented in the comment section that, oh, Starlink is coming. They are going to give competition. They actually go create a fertile ground for competition. So you would have the option of choosing between Starlink, MTN, or Telecel. Then again, I went back to say, nah, Starlink for some country, then they pay $100. Do you think the ordinary Ghanaian will pay $100 for Starlink unless you people are going to deconstruct it to the level where the ordinary Ghanaian can, choose Starlink as an option if MTN or Telecel they mess up plus some. So the Starlink reference and also reducing the prices of phone devices and things, it was all over the place. Also, right now, as the vice president, do something about it. Or are you telling me that if you do it right now, when you become president, you can't do it? In his own ways. And make you people not sit there and tell me, say, we have no internet in this country, data in this country is expensive. I don't care about any survey or research anyone has done. On the grounds, internet is expensive, and even the money that we are paying has to be expensive. It not be fast. If I am paying let's say 500 Ghana cedis for let's say 100 gigabytes worth of data, and it is fast, I can upload a 1 gig video in let's say 10 minutes or less. It gonna be cool. It not be the case like that. So there are a lot of things happening. And once again, before you go achieve your digitalization dreams, aspirations, and whatever you want to introduce when it comes to digital, you have to build the fundamentals. What is digitalization without the internet? Because everything they rest on them. So that question then the answer to then they toss. But then where he say he admitted in his response to me that data in this country is expensive. So they know. They have seen what is happening. The vice president of Ghana and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party admitted in the video that he admits that data is expensive. So the people where they come there, the comment section, they talk, say, and someone even came to the comment section talking about the fact that I shouldn't have asked the data, I should have. You see, there are a lot of people on social media who are angry for no reason. That why did you ask question about data? It is not a strong question. Meanwhile, 3 weeks ago, you people on social media demonstrating about high cost or high prices of data in this country. What do you people want? Is it because of the NDC thing that I say, bro, forget it. So I was given the opportunity to ask the vice president questions, and I've listed my questions. and the replies to the corresponding questions that I asked. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you impressed? Were you impressed with his encounter with the media? Are you convinced? Some of the questions that were asked, or all the questions that were asked, do you think the vice president answered it to your satisfaction? If not, which one did you want him to answer the most way he digress and things? Make a know in the comment section. But at the end of the day, that's what happened. So we finished the event. Everybody come in house right now. When you go on social media, conversations they are on them and things. So guys, that's what happened at the Bawumia meet the press or host the media yesterday. It is what it is, and I want you people to understand that this one, no question. Nobody give me question. They don't give me question. Also, nobody pay me. As you say, people, hey, but our politics is a dirty game. As you say, people, somebody say, me are going to take to 80,000 and says, hey, and I think I'm here by now, yeah, I got this morning, me do joke or you KFC near the other. Hey, you need to try dog gate. You are mad that I was invited and you were not. That's just the problem. But the thing is, I went there and represented the interest. You know what be funny? When I did the thing for the FAMD people, they were surprised. Because I'm not a FAMD person. It shouldn't bother me or concern me. So, bro, my comment section, all of them, doctor this, doctor that, they were just giving me fans. Then my head is well. Yesterday, I see 200 FAMD students come subscribe to my channel. Agenda win. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope they get their pay. I hope when he is voted, or if he's voted into power, he will do something about the royalty collections in this country and the data side there. Right now, we want to know, we want to see what he go do about them, because the cost of data in this country be expensive, and he has to do something about it. Since he's the messiah of digitalization, make you do something about them for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what happened. This is my point of view. You can also argue about what you saw over there. I know the family cry in the comment section. Feel free. There is democracy in my comment section. So argue about what you saw, what you didn't like, what you liked. Was it a waste of time, as people are saying? Were your questions answered? What did in your mind? Did the journalists put it to the vice president and the presidential candidate? Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, and my name is Kwadwo Sheldon. Once again, big shout outs to Cowbell for holding us down throughout the editorial. Me, I'm trying my energize, because the next episode we are going to review the NDC's manifesto. Some things were highlighted in the manifesto. I wasn't invited. They don't even send me questions and things. Sad. I wasn't invited, but I have a right to talk about it, because once again, democracy. It is democracy, not democracy. We are out. Hey, subscribe to the channel.